You're watching E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob, and this video we're going to talk Game of Thrones. It has been far too long. A lot of you have been asking me if I was going to do a Game of Thrones video. You guys have been asking for a while, and here it is. So, Game of Thrones. Now, I am planning on doing a video at some point discussing Season 4 and some things regarding the end, the season finale. There were some fans who were very disappointed about that, and I want to get into that. But this video in particular is talking about actor Charles Dance. And apparently, Charles Dance is not exactly out of the fold. There's been a recent article that released where he was interviewed with MTV, basically was talking about his upcoming movie, Dracula Untold, and he expressed that he's not completely out of the picture, that you have not seen the last of Tywin Lannister. Now, the article goes on to say that this may be because HBO is considering abandoning their policy of not doing flashbacks. So that's one rumor. The other rumor is maybe he's not dead, but I don't know. If I remember well, he looks like he was pretty dead to me. One way or another, we're going to see more of him. How much more remains to be seen. It could be a flashback. It could be something out of the ordinary. While Game of Thrones seems to be very much a grounded fantasy story, it is fantasy and there is magic involved and there is black magic involved. I'm unsure as to whether or not anything crazy took place in the books. I have not read the books, but from what I can gather, I've never heard any rumors or spoilers that once he was dead, that he returned. So this is pretty interesting stuff. Also, many weeks ago, since I'm on the topic of talking about Game of Thrones, we also know that Hodor and Brad Stark are not going to be in this season, which is, to me, somewhat of a disappointment considering where they left off at the end season finale. It was very interesting to see where they finally arrived, and now that we're not going to see any of that for a whole season is very disappointing. From what I understand, it seems like up to this point, their story has been told. Like, there's no more content from the books that they haven't used in regards to these two characters. So this is just another example of how the very time-consuming process that George R.R. Martin takes of writing his books is kind of affecting the show. And I'm not saying that he should rush. I mean, it's always quality over quantity, and you don't want him to rush if he thinks that the story is going to suffer. But at the same time, this kind of puts a damper maybe on some of the plans from HBO. So we'll see how that goes. It may be that HBO will have to start taking other parts of the book and start telling those stories to give him time, and maybe that's why we're going to see flashbacks. It would also be exciting if we could also see Sean Bean return in some flashbacks. But apparently, from what I understand, there's a lot of fans who read the books that would like HBO to exercise that kind of feature so they can get more lore onto the show. So interesting stuff going into season 5. No Bran, no Hodor, and we may still see some Tywin Lannister. Recently there were also some pictures that were revealed from the filming of season 5, but there were nothing too revealing. One showed Daenerys Targaryen, and quite honestly, if I had put that picture up, nobody would have noticed it was from season 5 because it doesn't look like anything we haven't seen before. But, you know, it's still, look, the show is still quite some times away. I mean, it might debut in April, usually around April, May. I mean, we have quite a ways to go before that arrives. So, but it looks like some things are starting to come out little by little in terms of news and in terms of season 5 pictures. We're bound to get a trailer by the end of the year, if not at the beginning of the year, and that will start heating talk up again. But definitely, I know a lot of you guys came around for Game of Thrones. I thank you so much for that support. And of course, I will be reviewing the show again. And I was very undecided as to whether or not I wanted to do some talk or speculation during the off season, simply because I've never read the books. And you know, I guess it's fun to speculate, but for a lot of people who've read the books, that's not really fun. And outside of speculation, there's really not much I can discuss. So, but we will talk more Game of Thrones. I do want to get back into season 4, specifically the season finale. Kind of want to talk about that and get an idea of why some people didn't like it. I wasn't too disappointed with it, but apparently there was a character that a lot of people were expecting to see for the season finale. They didn't, and that is what upset them. So we'll get into that probably next Monday. This is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Nation Facebook page.